I got a really good response from my Beamtown Bullies EDH deck tech. So what I'm going to do now is walk you through another idea that I had for a commander deck. And again, if you're not interested in Magic the Gathering, check out the Ultimate playlist down below. It features some of my best videos, some starts of series as well, and all around just the best content on my channel. So check that out if you're not interested in Magic the Gathering. Otherwise, enjoy the video. Okay, this is a weird one, which is a great way to start a YouTube video, I guess. I'm going to call this the Dragon Gameboy Modular Tribal. So let me break down the title for you, because it might be a little bit confusing. So the Dragon is the commander of the deck. Now, Gameboy Modular Tribal. Now, I've titled it Gameboy in quotes, because that's sort of the analogy that I'm going to try and get across the concept of the deck to you. So, just like you have a Game Boy, let's say a Game Boy Advance, you have cartridges that will place into the Game Boy and then you can play the game. So like Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, Leaf Green, I'm running out of Pokemon games. But that Game Boy will serve as like the starter. So you need that Game Boy in order to play the cartridges, if that makes sense. Now, if we apply that logic to a commander deck, the Game Boy is the original 80 cards of this deck, and the modular tribal bit is going to be a cartridge, in quotation marks, of about 20 cards that I can slot into the deck, take out, slot in with more cards, etc. So that tribal part will be like humans, elementals, angels, and I want this deck to, no matter what cartridge I can make of 20 cards, it can just function perfectly. Like, it has a game plan in those 20 cards, and then the rest of the 80 cards are just trying to help the game plan, or just trying to like move it along, I guess. So the first bit is I want this deck to function perfectly, and in order to do that, I need the perfect mana base. Now, again, I want you to just ignore this price right here. These prices, ignore them. The Dragon costs 69, nice, to 89 US dollars. I'm going to be using a proxy, ignore that. And all of the shock lands, I have proxies of them, so it's fine. I'm not actually going to be spending $500 on this deck. So, what I want to do is I need to fix this mana base in order to make it work for every single color. That's the plan, and that's what I'm going to try and do first. I need to try and get rid of the Ally Encampment and the Voldaren Estate. Ally Encampment, Voldaren Estate, because both of these just tap for vampires. I had a plan in mind for like what I wanted this deck to be, but I think it's different from my actual goal for the deck. So as you can see, I have quite a few shapeshifters or changelings in the deck, and I don't think it's going to result in a better deck if I keep the changelings in, or at least this many changelings in. So I'm going to start cutting. I was thinking of doing this modular tribal deck, but then I sort of got caught up with changelings and it sort of morphed into something else. And I want to try and put it back on track, I guess, is the way to explain that. Okay. Do I just add more forests, or do I find like the Battle Bond lands? I always forget what they're called. Sea of Clouds, Morphic Pool, Luxury Suite, Spire Garden. I don't think I have all of these. In fact, I don't think I have any of these. But I'm gonna add it because it makes the perfect deck. I don't know about actually buying these, but we'll see. I'm pretty sure they're pretty expensive. Basically, these lands are dual lands. So whenever you play it against 2 or more opponents, they just come in untapped. So you just have access to the mana immediately, which is pretty freaking cool. Okay, 42 lands, a little bit too much, so I will just remove some of the basic lands. If I remove one of each basic land, I go down to 37 lands, which I'm happy with. 37 lands is probably a good... Okay, 37 lands. I think that's pretty damn good. Basically, all of these enter untapped, unclaimed territory. Lets me choose the creature type of the cartridge that I want to use, or the modular bit. The World Tree lets my lands tap for anything. Fantastic. Basically all the shock lands. Reliquary Tower, because it's neat. Just want to double check. Forbidden Orchard, Command Tower. Okay. That works for me. I think if anything, I will remove the Path of Ancestry, because I don't really have dragons. So next up, let's take a look at sorceries. I know that I need to remove some of these because Cultivate, I don't have that many basic lands. I don't really want to search for them. Okay, Haunting Voyage can work. because it does have foretell, and I can get all of one specific type, so I think that's staying. Farseek is a yes, because it looks for types of lands. Cultivate is a no. Imposing Grandeur is a yes, because I have a 9 mana commander. Kindred Charge is a yes. Kadama's Reach is a no. Peer Pressure is a maybe. If you choose a creature type, if you control more creatures of that type than any other player, you gain control of all creatures of that type. So it's good in a shapeshifter deck because I can basically take control of any creature. Okay, let's get rid of... Cultivate is going. Kadama's Reach is going. What can I put in its place? Spoils of Victory and 3 visits. Those are good. I know there's another one that's like 3 visits, but it basically does the exact same effect, but it's called something different. I'm just seeing a lot of 3 visits here. Okay, maybe that's not it. No, it's not Nature's Claim. It's on the tip of my tongue. I'm searching for a lot of forest cards. Spoils of Victory, yeah. 3 visits, yes. Considering I have all of the shocklands, those should be very good. I think sorceries are fine now. Still not sure about Peer Pressure. Alright, enchantments are up next. Let's start cutting. Crucible of Fire needs to go. Dragon Tempest needs to go. Liliana's Contract needs to go. Etchings of the Chosen can stay. Mero's Commerce needs to go. Radiant Destiny, yes. Rally the Ranks, yes. Rule in the Wild, yes. Shared Triumph, yes. Okay, let's see how it looks. When I was making this deck for the first time, I just had a different idea in mind. But I need to sort of hone down what I'm doing. Okay, that's good. Sorceries are good. Let's take a look at artifacts. So Arcane Signet, good. Felwar Stone, good. Pyre of Heroes, I think that's very good in a tribal deck. Celestis is just a really good mana rock. Urza's Incubator, fantastic. Vanquish's Banner, very good. These two I already have copies of. I bought them when they came out. Or like, I bought them years ago and they've just shot up in price. So again, ignore that price. Return target creature to its owner's hand. You may have shapeshifters you control become copies of that creature until end of turn. Nope. Beast Within. Spoils of Adventure. Spoils of Adventure needs to go. Stinging Study, yes. Swords of Plowshares, yes. Windgrace's Judgment, yes. So Absorb Identity. And Spoils of Adventure. I mean, technically I can do a shapeshifter modular bit, like 20 card shapeshifters, and those cards can be included. They can definitely be included in that shapeshifter package, but it just doesn't fit with the main deck. I think Yorion needs to go. I think it was a really cool idea, but I don't think Yorion's going to fit. The reason why I added Yorion was because I was thinking, okay, maybe the original deck could be 100 cards. Then I could add Yorion on top, and then add another 20 cards of that modular package. But I think that's a little bit too much. I think it's just a little bit too much going on to have 121 cards. Okay, the creatures really need to be cut down. Because it just has a different... They all have a different plan at the moment. So right now they all care about creature types, which I need to fix. So things like Augmented Pugilist, he can stay, he's pretty cool. Because he has the Echoing Equation and copies other creatures. Azami needs to go. Bloodline Pretender can stay, actually. That's decent. Khan Wanderer needs to go. Cloud Shredder Sliver. Cloud Shredder Sliver. That's really fun to say. He needs to go. Guardian Gladewalker, go. Imperial Recruiter, he can stay. Impostor of the Sixth Pride, he can go. Regular Cohort, he can go. Magda. Magda can go as well. I'm not using Dwarves. Mirror Entity can stay. Morit of the Frost. Permanent you control except it's legendary. Yep, he can stay. Realm Walker, he can stay. Risen Reef, he can go. Shape Sharer, he can go. Whenever you or a permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter that spell unless its controller pays 1. So it just adds a tax on top of the card they're playing if they target one of my creatures, which I think is pretty good. I think it's a decent card to keep. 72 cards. Yikes. So maybe I can go up to 75. If I go up to 75 for the main Game Boy or main package, then it should be fine. Then the 25 cards that I add to this deck, or the modular tribal bit, should have the win con in it. This is just purely gas to try and get the game going. Shared Triumph? That's just Rally of the Ranks. It even looks like the same guy. He looks very similar, at least. Okay, so we need to add a few more instants, I think. Having only 4 instants is probably not good. Oh, we've actually got a lot of green here. That's probably an issue. Yeah. Because I want the main deck to be balanced. This set of lands can play these cards, like, with no issue. Like, having an extreme amount of green here is probably not a good idea. I still need to add 3 cards, so I think those 3 cards should be blue and maybe black. Oh, Risen Reef needs to go. Risen Reef needs to go. What? I didn't remove Risen Reef. Okay, that makes it even worse. Maybe get rid of Augmented Pugilist? Nah, but I feel like he's very good. I feel like the backside of it is just incredible. Choose target creature you control. Each other creature you control becomes a copy of it until the end of turn. Except those creatures aren't legendary if the chosen creature is legendary. Yeah, it's just, I think like it's too good. But maybe the green does need to be this big. Because I have a lot of ramp that I need to do. Okay, looking over this deck, I feel like there's not a lot of card draw. There's a lot of ramp, which is good. There's Imposing Grandeur, which cycles everyone's hands. But there's no drawing cards. Stinging Study as well. I lose 9 life, draw 9 cards. That's pretty funny. So maybe I should add some draw card effects from blue. Okay, let's take a look now. Does it look a little bit better in this pie? It does. The blue seems a little bit more prominent. We have 73 cards now. I need maybe 2 more black cards to try and push this black out a little bit more. Those can definitely be black draw cards as well, actually. Now that I think about it. Maybe I change the commander then. I could go with Morophon and then he would just work with the deck. Choose a creature type. Spells of the chosen type you cast cost Wurberg less to cast. The effect only reduces the amount of color mana you pay. Plus it's a 1/1 for all the other creatures. Yeah, but Dragon's so cool. But it only affects dragons. And I'm not going with the dragon typing anymore. Ugh. Okay. Let's switch to Morophon. So the Dragon worked in the previous iteration of this deck because it reduces the cost of all dragons I control. Oh, I forgot to put in commander. It reduces the cost of all dragons I cast, which coincidentally, all the shapeshifters are also dragons, so everything costs 1 less. But if I'm going to this modular thing, I should probably switch. There we go. Morophon Gameboy Modular Tribal. Look at the competitive meter, it just keeps shooting down. Okay, so we need 2 more cards in order to push up this black a little bit more and just reduce this green. I've only got 5 symbols of black, 6 of blue, 8 of white, 6 of red, 13 of green. Yeah, I definitely need more black cards. I have no board wipes either. Maybe the board wipes can be included in the package. But I feel like there should be at least 1 board wipe in the main deck. Alright, get rid of peer pressure. Get rid of this card. I don't need it. It's never going to come up. I have a spare Diabolic Tutor. No, that's not it. Diabolic Intent? Is that the one from... It's the one where you sack a creature, go look for something. There we go. That's it. I've got one of those. I got a spare one of those. I've got enough of the cards that produce the mana. That seems super even. There's one extra green, but that's understandable because of all the extra green cards I've got. So I'm thinking 1 more blue card and maybe 1 more black card. Kindred Charge for 6. Bolus the Citadel could be decent, actually. It is 3 black, but I don't know. I think Look, I'll give it a go. Okay. This casual meter has, like, increased a lot more since I started putting in random cards. Alright, 1 to go. I want it to be blue, so I can try and even out this thing. I got too much green, too much black now. I feel like I've got enough draw. I feel like I've got enough ramp. I feel like I've got a few niche cards that might be cool. Like, I can discard my entire hand, force everyone to. Oh, this is even less now. I can only discard and draw 7. That's annoying. I just lost 2 points for changing out the commander. 2 cards, sorry, not 2 points. I have a Sack Tutor, which is good. Haunting Voyage can get me back all of the same creature type, which is good because the modular bit will all be the same creature anyway. Alright, let's just put in a Narset's Reversal. Whenever you're confused about what blue card to add, just Narset's Reversal. If you already have one in the deck, just add another one. It's always good. Okay. Narset's Reversal is copy target instant or sorcery spell, then return it to its owner's hand. You can choose new targets for the copy. I think that's pretty decent. A little bit heavy on the green, but a lot of it is ramp. Augmented Pugilist, I'm not going to be casting it for the green side. You never cast this guy on the green side. You always do the blue side anyway. So, yeah. Can I change this to Echoing Equation, actually? Echoing Equation. Yeah, I can. So if I've changed it, flip, it now shows blue. Oh, look at that! That's almost perfect! Yeah, because I'm never going to be casting Augmented Pugilist as himself. I'm always going to be casting the Equation side. That's almost perfect. I'm really happy with that, actually. That's just solved all my problems, just flipping that card over. And I have 75 cards, which means that I think this is done. Now, the modular tribal bit I will be putting out in an extra video sometime next week or the week after, because I want to try and get sort of a cartridge or a modular bit of 25 cards that I can then put in this deck and just start playing with. Then if I ever want to try a different tribe, I can just create a 25 card pile, switch them out, switch them back in. It's going to be fun. I think this is a pretty all-around deck. I think this is a really good starting off point if I want to include more tribes into this deck. I think it has just everything I need. 40 minutes ago, I was not sure if I was able to do this, but I genuinely think I've done it. Helped out extremely by this perfect mana base. You can't really go past the Shocklands. And if you're like, oh, Shocklands cost too much, or the Battle Bond lands cost too much, I'm planning for all of these Battle Bond lands to be proxies. I'm just going to print out a page and put them in front of something else, because I don't really want to pay $7 US for a land. Like, these lands altogether are really expensive. They're probably like 90% of this entire deck. So thank you so much for watching this, I guess, precursor to the next video that I'm going to be bringing out in either next week or the week after, where I actually create the cartridges or the modular bits of this deck in order to slip in and out. If you want to see another deck tech where I go into a little bit more detail about my ideas and the backstory of things, go check out my Beamtown Bullies EDH deck tech. I'll leave a link to that in the description down below, and there'll also be a card at the end of the video. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any ideas or suggestions about this deck, make sure you leave it in the comment section down below. I do read every single comment, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. We'll sort out these cards later. I basically just want to I just want to fix up the creatures first and maybe the enchantments. Because just going back to my... Oops, sorry about that flip to white there. Probably blinded someone. Because going back to, I guess, my deck tech here, positive effects for attacking my opponents, I might need to look into some of these curses, because they could definitely provide good benefits for me and bad